Hello, my friend. Welcome to our channel, Moon Sleep Stories. My name is Mushroom, and it is an honor to be your guide tonight. This is a space for you to let go to rest. So take a slow breath and exhale gently. Now, let's step through the door together into a story that will soothe your soul and lull you to sleep. Let your body sink a little deeper, your breath soften. There's nothing to do, nowhere to be, just you, the stars, and the quiet magic of this moment. Let's begin. Two feeling managers. You don't notice the thread at first. Why would you? It's thinner than hair, lighter than thought, and woven so quietly through your life that it almost escapes detection. But tonight, as you lie back and let your breath slow down, something begins to shift. The edges of your day soften, and a deep hush begins to settle in, as if the world has lowered its volume just for you. And in that hush, there it is, the invisible thread. It tugs gently, not at your body. No, your body's too relaxed now to be moved by such things, but at something deeper. The part of you that has always wondered if there was more to life than deadlines and double texts. That faint little tug is a whisper from the universe. You felt it before, the moment you missed the train and bumped into an old friend you hadn't seen in years. Or when you just knew you should turn left instead of right, and ended up at a bookstore that had the exact book you didn't know you needed. Some people call these things coincidence, others divine timing. You're not too worried about labels tonight. You're just here to feel. The ceiling above you fades away, and in its place, a sky spreads out, so wide, so dark, so star-strewn, you almost laugh. Whoever hung these stars had no fear of extravagance. You float beneath them like a whisper, no weight, no worry. One star twinkles a little brighter, you drift closer, and it's there that you begin to see it more clearly. The pattern. It's not just one thread anymore. It's thousands, millions, maybe more. All dancing through time and space. Some threads hum, some vibrate with laughter, some pulse like a heartbeat. And you're connected to all of them. You blink and suddenly you're standing on a street in London. 1666. And no, you're not dreaming, or maybe you are, but your feet are quite solid on cobblestones that smell like ash and horses. The Great Fire has just ended. The city is hushed with loss. And yet, a man walks by with soot on his collar and a smile on his face. You follow him. He opens a sketchbook and with ink ink-stained fingers begins to redesign the entire city. Sir Christopher Wren, architect, dreamer, believer in sacred geometry. He sees the city not as rubble, but as potential. "I suppose," he mutters under his breath, not noticing you, "the fire was a kind of gift." You raise an eyebrow. Gift? But in this place, you begin to understand. Destruction often clears the path for creation. The thread winds on. Now you're floating again, through centuries like a falling feather. You pass by the construction of the Great Pyramid. Yes, that one. Hot wind, dust, strange chants. A man gestures toward the sky, aligning the stones with Orion's belt. Not just a tomb, but a map. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians built the pyramids only for their pharaohs or as portals between worlds. You just float past, thinking, either way, they trusted the stars. They trusted something bigger. And you've always wanted to. The thread tugs again, a bit firmer now, not pulling you away, but leading you in. Like a friend in the dark, reaching out a hand, you follow. This time, the scene is strangely familiar. You're back in your own life, but it's a memory. You're 8 years old, sprawled out on a picnic blanket, staring up at the clouds. Your fingers are sticky from something sweet, and someone beside you, maybe your grandmother, is telling a story about how everything happens for a reason. You don't understand all of it, but you feel it, a deep, safe knowing, like the thread was already woven inside you. Back in the present, your body is so still, so heavy with calm, you feel almost like part of the bed itself. And maybe you are. Maybe you've dissolved into this moment. One breath, one thread, one story. The universe, you realize, isn't yelling to get your attention. It's whispering. And it's been whispering for a long, long time. But here's the thing. It's not just whispering to you. It's whispering with you. Because you've been shaping it too. Every time you said yes when you were scared. Every time you left when it hurt. Every time you showed up, even when you didn't know why. You're not just walking a path, you're weaving it. Some people fear that if they let go, everything will fall apart. But the irony is, sometimes when you do let go, everything finally falls together. Like Tetris blocks suddenly snapping into place. Like your favorite song coming on shuffle right when you needed it. The thread shimmers. You see it running through every conversation, every closed door, every accidental moment. Remember that time you signed up for the wrong class and ended up meeting someone who changed your life? Yeah, that wasn't random. That was the thread. And here's a fringe fact for you. Did you know that spiders, when building their webs, will sometimes stop if they sense an environmental change, like a breeze or a shift in pressure, and start again from a different angle? Even spiders know when to trust their gut. And you're so much more than a spider. You are a breathing, dreaming, stardust-made being. And tonight, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Let the thread carry you. It knows the way. The thread hums quietly now, vibrating just below the surface of your awareness. You aren't chasing it anymore. You're simply floating alongside it as if you've always known the way. And suddenly, without any grand announcement, you're not in your room anymore. You're somewhere older, warmer. There's the earthy scent of firewood, the soft rustle of linen robes. You find yourself standing at the edge of a stone circle, its towering monoliths casting long shadows across damp grass. You're in Neolithic Britain, thousands of years ago. A group gathers under the cloudy twilight, not to worship the stones necessarily. Historians still argue whether these early peoples used the circle for sacred ceremonies, astronomical calendars, or something else entirely. But whatever it was, they trusted the rhythm of the world more than the clock. You watch as a woman raises her arms to the sky. She chants softly, her voice blending with the wind. No one else, her. She's being unrealistic. No one asks her for data or proof. She sings because she feels it, because she believes. And in that moment, so do you. A drumbeat starts, not from the people, from within you. Your heart is keeping time with something ancient, steady, and bigger than any worry you brought with you tonight. You sit quietly and notice it, how cultures across the world have always danced, drummed, meditated, or chanted in circles. Always circles, never squares, because circles never end. The ancient rhythm. You blink, and just like that, you're somewhere else again. This time, in a bamboo grove in Japan. The sun filters through green leaves, and the air smells of moss and tea. A monk sits in silence, tending to a small rock garden. He drags a rake slowly through sand, creating delicate, spiraling lines. You watch him for a long time. He never looks up. He doesn't need to. Each stroke is meditation. Each pause is trust. You want to ask him something. How do you know when to let go, when to act, when to wait? But the silence already answers you. You feel it. When you're still enough, you feel everything. The wind shifts. The bamboo clinks gently like chimes. The thread moves again. This time to a cold, snowy night in Scandinavia. You're in a Sami village, watching reindeer shuffle softly beneath the northern lights. The sky is performing tonight, ribbons of green and violet pulsing above like a celestial river. An elder beside you, wrapped in heavy furs, laughs quietly. "That's the spirits dancing," she says. They remind us not to control everything. You nod. Even the stars have their own rhythm. And then, you guessed it, zoom. You're plunked down right in the middle of 16th century Istanbul. It's warm, bustling. The scent of spices, coffee, and sweat? Yeah, definitely sweat. But you don't mind. You're too mesmerized by a street musician playing a ney flute. The melody snakes through the alleys like incense smoke. A small crowd gathers. One man begins to whirl. A Sufi dervish. He spins in perfect, etc. stillness. Well, his body spins, but he is still. Eyes closed, hands open, spinning in surrender. You think of the chaos in your own life, texts unanswered, plans undone, worries curled up in corners like dust bunnies. And yet, here's this man spinning himself into harmony, not by fixing things, but by letting go. Turns out, surrender isn't giving up, it's aligning. That same thread hums louder now. You're not being pulled anymore, you're being carried. Did you know that the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart? Science says it. Mystics always knew it. And you, well, you're starting to remember. The rhythm moves through you now. You're not observing history, you're inside it. Every culture you visited tonight trusted something beyond logic, not because they were naive, because they were attuned. There's a modern myth that says humans today are smarter, sharper, better than our ancestors. But if that were true, why do our dreams feel ancient? Why do our souls still respond to faith? Pish to moonlight, firelight, the hush before a storm. Maybe you're not here to solve the universe. Maybe you're here to dance with it. The thread pulses in time with your breath, a quiet drumbeat beneath everything. Thump, thump, thump. You feel it in your bones. A rhythm that says, you don't need to control the storm. You just need to learn how to stand in the rain. You remember that woman at the stone circle? Her chant wasn't about asking the sky for stuff. It was a thank you, a conversation, not a demand. So many people try to manifest from fear, from lack, from panic, but the rhythm teaches something else. Ask from trust. Ask like the answer already exists. Because it does. Attract what you need by becoming what you need. That's the old way, the true way. You don't manifest peace by fighting. You manifest peace by becoming still. And speaking of stillness, you're now sitting in a tiny candlelit room. A woman writes at a desk. Her hair is wild, her ink pot nearly empty. She's muttering something about the brumate, stars, and fate, and letters that will outlive her. It's Emily Dickinson, the reclusive poet of Amherst. She once wrote, "The soul should always stand ajar, ready to welcome the ecstatic experience." You smile. Even poets knew the rhythm is everywhere, and you're ready to feel it. The thread tugs one last time tonight, not to take you somewhere else, but to bring you home, back to your breath, back to your chest rising and falling, back to the beat that never left, the beat you can trust, the rhythm that's been loving you this whole time. Remember the Tellenly, the aster, the thread doesn't tug this time. It simply shimmers, like it's inviting you rather than guiding you. Like an old friend who's walked ahead on the trail, turning back just to say, "Come on, you'll want to see this." So you follow. Your feet touch soft, cool stone, and suddenly you're standing on an observatory balcony in Jaipur, India. The night air is warm, humming with quiet. Around you rise enormous instruments, half sundials, giant stone compasses, cosmic calculators carved into the very earth. You've landed at the Jantar Mantar, an astronomical playground built in the 18th century by a curious king. It looks like a modern art exhibit, and a sacred geometry textbook had a baby. The Maharaja Jai Singh believed that the heavens weren't random, they were communicating. You trail your fingers along a curved marble surface, etched with zodiac signs, and for a moment you feel dizzy. Like maybe the stars aren't out there anymore. Maybe they're inside you now. Because what if the universe isn't something you look at? What if it's something you look from? A breeze brushes your cheek, and the thread flickers into view again, now a trail of stars, shimmering above your head like breadcrumbs in reverse. You take a step forward, and now you're floating again, but this time upward, way, way up, higher than rooftops, higher than airliners, higher than Elon Musk's best attempt, until you are outside the earth, just hovering, weightless, watching. Have you ever noticed how the earth doesn't ask for permission to spin? It just does. No email confirmation, no second guessing. It spins because that's its rhythm, because that's its place in the dance. And from this distance, all the drama looks small. Your inbox, tiny. That awkward conversation from last week, practically microscopic. And yet, here's the weird part, it still matters. Because the universe doesn't measure worth by size. It measures by vibration, by resonance. And your vibration matters. You look to your charge. You're right, and hey, would you look at that? Saturn's just chilling nearby. Casual planetary flyby. You smile, because you remember reading how Saturn in Roman mythology was the god of time and structure. And now he's floating beside you like, hey, I know discipline is hard, but trust me, boundaries are sacred. You nod. Thanks, Saturn. You've been tough but fair. And there, further out, your eyes catch the faint glow of the Horsehead Nebula. It's like a dream of a horse galloping through mist, a real thing floating in the dark, painted in cosmic dust. And did you know the atoms that make up your body were forged in stars like that? Actual supernovas. You, yes, you are made of exploded starlight, which is maybe the most glamorous origin story of all time. Marvel could never. But the truth is, you've always been part of this. The stars aren't distant spectators, they're family. And here's something even more wild. Scientists now believe that over 95% of the universe is made up of dark matter and dark energy. Stuff we can't see, can't touch, and barely understand. Just vibes. So when you lie awake at night, worrying about things you can't see, maybe you're not crazy, maybe you're tuned in, because you've always sensed the unseen. You've always felt that pull, that alignment. Back down on earth, just for a moment. You find yourself in an art museum, quiet, empty, except for one painting. It's Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night. Swirls of cobalt, twists of light, a sky more alive than the village below it. Historians still debate whether Van Gogh painted from memory, imagination, or hallucination, but no one questions this. He felt something, and he painted it, a cosmic mirror. Because when you look at the stars, they're also looking at you. You sit in front of the painting, and the edges begin to shimmer, like the canvas is a window, and you're being invited in. So you step through, and suddenly you're surrounded by swirling blue. The stars whirl around you like dancers, and somewhere deep in the cosmos, you hear laughter. The universe has a sense of humor. Of course it does. Why else would socks disappear from the dryer? Or why would every line at the grocery store move faster than the one you chose? Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe the universe just enjoys a little improv. But tonight, you're not trying to decode the joke. You're learning to laugh with it, to soften, to stop gripping the steering wheel with white knuckles and trust the road to carry you. And here's a quirky fact. Astronauts who viewed Earth from space often experience what's called the overview effect, a cognitive shift in awareness. They describe feeling overwhelming awe and the absurdity of borders, conflict, fear. From out there, everything looks connected, fragile, precious, whole. You're feeling a little of that now. Your breath slows, your chest softens. You're not a lone passenger on a cold rock. You're part of a cosmic symphony, and your part matters. You've had moments like this before, standing under a full moon, hearing a song at the exact right time, hosting to time, will us professional, hone in to us, laughing grouse to the choice, to late them, laughing so hard your ribs hurt to lift them. In the R the famer mourn from yord. Those are the mirrors, challenge, text, little glimpses, turning minor. Reminders that you belong to us perfect, to us perfect. You don't have to earn your place to us perfect, to us perfect. Here, you are your place to valuably. You are your place. You're not a guest. You're home in that. You're not a guest. You're home. So take a breath, stardust, closer from. Feel your heart pulsing like a gentle drum. Everything. Let the mirror show you what you've forgotten. Let the mirror show you what you've forgotten. You are already aligned. The mirror show you what you've forgotten. You are already worthy, little hurt. Like the mirror show you what you've forgotten. You are already whole. You are already whole. And the universe, the mirror, show you what you've forgotten. You are already whole. The mirror show you what you've forgotten. It never stopped dancing with you. You're not sure when it happens exactly, but somewhere between Saturn's nod and Van Gogh's swirling sky, something inside you shifts. It's not dramatic. There's no lightning bolt, no spiritual drum roll, no grand angelic whisper. It's quieter than that. More like the soft click of a door unlocking. A door that's always been there, at the edge of your mind, marked trust without proof. You hesitate because, let's be honest, leaping without seeing has never really been your thing. You like plans, checklists, 3 backup snacks, and a weather app. But tonight, the thread offers you no itinerary, just a pause, an inhale, and the sense that something is about to begin if you'll let it. So you take one cautious step forward and then another, and suddenly, whoosh, you're not on solid ground anymore. You're falling. But not in the scary, I missed a step on the stairs way. This is gliding, descending through layers of soft velvet night. It's as if you're being wrapped, not dropped, held. The fall slows, and you land gently, gracefully, on the edge of a canyon. But this isn't any canyon. It's the Grand Canyon, stretching out before you in colors you've only ever seen in dreams. Burnt orange, rose gold, dusk purple. The wind here is patient. The rocks hum with ancient wisdom, and down in the distance, the Colorado River glimmers like a serpent of silver. You walk to the edge. Your toes curl instinctively. You know the canyon won't crumble, but your fear does a little performance anyway. That voice in your head, the rocks hum with ancient wisdom, and down in the distance, the Colorado River glimmers like a serpent of silver. You walk to the edge. Your toes curl instinctively. You know the canyon won't crumble, but your fear does a little performance anyway. That voice in your head, you know the one that says, what if you fall? What if it goes wrong? What if you're making a mistake? Yeah, that one. It starts to chatter, louder, panicking in polite, logica sentences, but you just stand there, breathing, watching. And then, from the shadows, someone else appears, a stranger, wrapped in a cloak, face weathered by time, smile knowing. He doesn't say his name, but somehow you know who he is. He's the one who leapt, the one who trusted. Nikola Tesla. Yeah, that Tesla. He doesn't speak, just points out across the canyon. And you follow his gaze to a rickety rope bridge suspended in mid-air. It's swaying, naturally, because why wouldn't your cosmic trust metaphor come with structural instability? Tesla hands you a tiny lantern, flickering with light, surprisingly warm, and gestures toward the bridge. His eyes twinkle, like he knows a joke you haven't heard yet. And here's the weirdest part. You're not scared, not really. Because something in you remembers. You don't have to see the whole path. You just need enough light for the next step. You step onto the bridge. It creaks, of course. Your heartbeat speeds up, but you keep walking, one breath at a time. You think about all that. The people throughout history who've taken leaps without guarantees. Think of Harriet Tubman, moving through the night with nothing but starlight and courage. Think of Galileo, whispering to the stars even when the church roared back. Think of Frida Kahlo, painting through pain, colors blooming where it hurt most. Historians still argue whether these people were visionaries or rebels. But you know, they were brave, and so are you. The bridge wobbles. You mutter something sarcastic to the wind, because humor is your coping mechanism, and somehow that helps. You look down. The canyon doesn't seem so deep anymore. You look up. The stars nod in silent approval. Then, halfway across, you pause, and something clicks. Not out there, in here, in your chest, your gut, your knowing. This isn't about making things happen. It's about allowing them. Trust isn't passive. It's powerful. It's walking forward with open hands, even when the path is foggy. You smile, because even now, part of your brain is still low-key, trying to calculate odds, but the rest of you, the soul part, she's already dancing ahead, lantern swinging like a firefly. You take another step, and another, until you reach the other side. You expect applause, a parade, at least one confetti cannon. Instead, there's just silence. The most beautiful silence you've ever heard. The canyon behind you fades, and now you're in a bedroom, but not your bedroom. It's simpler, older. A candle flickers on a wooden desk. Books are stacked haphazardly. And at the edge of the bed, someone sits writing in a leather-bound journal. She looks up, sharp eyes, kind smile. Eleanor Roosevelt. She's jotting down something you can't see. Then she speaks, soft, certain. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. And just like that, she disappears. You lie down on the bed, It welcomes you like memory. And from beneath the pillow, something peeks out, a small folded paper. You unfold it. It says, "You don't have to see it to believe it. You have to believe it to see it." You rest your head, and as your eyes close, you feel the bridge beneath you again. Not the swaying one, but the bridge within you. From fear to faith, from doubt to trust. The leap was never about reaching the other side. It was about discovering you had wings all along. Section 5. You wake, not with a jolt, not with a startle, but with that soft, glowing kind of awareness, like the world has finally remembered how to be quiet. You're not in a canyon anymore, not under stars or beside ancient temples. You're home, but not quite the home you left. This place feels gentler, like something inside you has been rearranged, not torn apart, just reorganized by grace. The thread is still here, not pulling, not tugging, just resting beside you. Like a companion who knows you don't need guiding anymore. You're ready. A window stands open. The night air carries the scent of jasmine and rain. You can hear distant thunder, low, cozy, like the sky is stretching. You step into the room and look around. Nothing flashy, no burning bush, no angel with a clipboard, just small, ordinary things. A teacup half full, a candle flickering low, a journal on the table with pages slightly crinkled, like someone was writing and then paused to dream. You sit, and it's there in the simple stillness that it finally lands. You don't have to chase miracles. You are one. You smile because, wow, that sounded cheesy, but also true. For so long, you've been trying to make things happen, forcing, controlling, negotiating with the universe like it's a tricky landlord. But tonight, something has changed. You're learning that receiving is an active state. Trust isn't laziness. It's choosing to listen deeply enough that the next step rises up to meet you. You walk toward the bookshelf, fingers brushing over titles. Your eyes catch one, the Tao Te Ching. You pull it down, open to a random page. It reads, "Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear?" You exhale, patience, clarity, stillness. This is the way miracles come, not in a flurry, but in a whisper, a slow bloom. You glance outside. The moon is hanging low, fat and golden, like it knows a secret and refuses to brag. You sit with it. You let its quiet teach you. And then, because this journey is never without a twist, you hear the faintest sound behind you, a door creaking open. You turn, and you see you from a time before the worry, before the grind, before you learned to mistrust the unknown. They walk toward you, a child version of yourself, or maybe a dream version, and they carry something in their hands, a dandelion puff. You almost laugh. How simple, how fragile. They hold it out to you, and without words you understand. This is the universe in miniature, delicate, magical, unpredictable. You take it, you blow, the seeds scatter, and in that moment, something opens inside you, not like a door, like a field, a wide, sun-drenched, wind-kissed field of possibility. It's been there all along, you just forgot. You look up and suddenly you're everywhere at once. The stone circle, the monk's garden, the starlit observatory, the canyon edge, the quiet room, all of it overlapping like layers of the same song. And through every scene, the thread dances, not pulling anymore, just glowing, just be, just there. You feel your breath return, not shallow or rushed, but full, like your lungs just remembered how to receive. This is trust, not blind belief, not delusion, but that deep, peaceful knowing that you are supported, that life is not out to get you, it's here to meet you, right where you are. You place your hand over your heart. It beats steadily, not loud, but sure, and you whisper something, so quiet it might be mistaken for sleep. I don't need to force it. I just need to allow it. The world agrees. A breeze lifts the curtain. A cat purrs from somewhere you can't see, and your whole body feels like a warm, soft yes. You walk toward the bed and climb in, not to escape, but to return, to rest, to integrate, to let it all settle like stars finding their places again. The thread coils gently beside you on the pillow. It hums a lullaby you somehow already know. And as your eyes grow heavy, you feel one last message rising up, not from outside you, but from the still, glowing center within. You don't need, chase what's already yours. You only need to receive it. You smile and drift. Let yourself settle now, deeper into stillness. Your breath softens, and so does everything else. No more searching, no more reaching, just rest. Let the corners of your mind unfurl. Let the tightness behind your ribs melt like snow in spring. You are safe. You are guided. You are whole. You've danced with the cosmos tonight, felt the rhythm of ancient drums, heard the silence behind starlight. You remembered that trust isn't a leap into nothingness. It's a return to everything, to the quiet knowing that life is unfolding for you, even when you can't see how, even when it looks like chaos, even then, especially then. You can let go now, not because everything is figured out, but because you've stopped needing it to be. Tonight, you are held by time, by space, by the thread that weaves miracles into the mundane. Let yourself drift, float, fade. The thread will stay with you. It always has. And when you wake, you'll wake different. Not louder, not brighter, just or you, 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 you. The real you, the one who trusts the dance. Good night, my friend, and welcome home.